project. I did the social business project in the staff class, and I do gotta say it's a really cool project. It's still going on right now. The purpose of this project was to learn about how to make a social business, what they are, and to try to build your own with a group within a 2-week range. For my first concept, I'm doing difference between the profit maximizing business and a social business. And in this case, I'm going to be using Invisible Children and Microsoft just because they're two businesses that we recognize, I think. So a social business uses part or its whole profit for a good cause. So I'm going to be using Invisible Children as an example. What they do is, for example, they sell t-shirts, hats, and bracelets, and what they make from selling that stuff or that profit, they use it towards their cause, and their cause is to help kids in Africa to stop things like starvation and murder and things like that. But my point is that they use part of that profit or that money that they gain towards their cause. And I say part because I'm pretty sure they are a big business that has employees, and they obviously need to pay their employees. So in this case, they will be using part of their profit. While a profit maximizing business uses its profit for its own growth. So something like Microsoft will gain money from whatever they're selling, in their case, computers and softwares, and they will use that money for their own growth. Now, for their own growth can mean things like maybe developing new products to sell to the public, obviously paying their workers, maybe opening their own stores or opening more stores, and their profit is basically just used for them and not really for anything else. Social business goes to the people who need them. So, for example, Invisible Children goes to Africa. They don't wait for the people to come to them. They actually take direct action, and they go to them, and they try to address that issue. While a profit maximizing businesses awaits for people to go to them, so something like Microsoft again, they wait for people, or the consumer in this case, to show up at the stores or to buy online or however they're going to purchase the item. But what they do is they make the product, and they show it for people to buy. Now, a social business waits or is looking towards a long-term change. So they do want to make a change, and second of all, they want to make it in the long term, something that is going to make a big change and is going to make a big difference towards whatever the cause is. While a profit maximizing doesn't really make a change or look for a short-term change, in my personal opinion, I think no profit maximizing business really looks for a change. Maybe some things that benefit, for example, the snuggly, like we talked about in the staff class, maybe that might make life easier for moms and snugglies to carry their babies with them. But it's really a small change in the short term thing that is not really something for our community. For my second concept are the 6 characteristics of a social business. And the first one is strong ethical empathy. So, of a social entrepreneur, 6 characteristics of a social entrepreneur. The first one is strong ethical empathy. So, a social entrepreneur, first of all, is a person that takes action, or that wants to take action to benefit our community and finds a cause or an issue in the community and wants to address it. And strong ethical empathy basically means that they need to be a person with morals or be an ethical person, and they need to basically be able to go through challenges and through temptations with their morals and being strong on what their cause is and being committed. The second one is willingness to share credit. So a social entrepreneur can't live off of people giving them credit and being recognized. They need to be willing to, for example, if they made a big change and whatever you want to think of, they need to be willing to give the credit to those people who help him or her and to recognize their help and their effort in whatever they did. The third one is willingness to self-correct. This is personally my favorite one, and I'm going to be showing you in a blog that I related to this. I think any person, and especially a social entrepreneur, needs to be willing to self-correct. So if they make a mistake, which happens to every single human being, they should be able to put their head down and say, I made a mistake, I'm going to fix it, or to not make it happen again, depending on what the mistake was. The fourth one is abandon the standard business model. And this means that they need to basically leave behind the thought of making money for themselves and basically becoming big and huge and having success and being a person of a lot of wealth. And they need to adopt the social business thought of going towards helping a community or going towards helping a cause. The fifth one is willingness to work quietly. Now, this doesn't mean they have to be in a desk working quietly, not saying anything for the whole day. Another way you can think of it is not motivated by recognition. So, willingness to work quietly is the willingness or being willing to just mind your own business, let's say, and work for your own cause, and not go out and showing people what you've done and that you've done big things or small things, doesn't really matter. But a social entrepreneur needs to be able to work on their own thing, and a lot of times that characteristic or that if they use it might lead them to becoming even bigger.